Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me today on this 13th of November, 2024. Where is the year going? I'm so glad that you could join me today. I don't know what was going on. The city or someone is working on the sewers right outside my house. And just as I was about to go live, a machine turned on and made all kinds of noise. It really threw me off. So I had to run outside and see what the heck was happening. But anyway, speaking of which, things going through our sewer, that's the topic for today. That's what I'm going to talk about, as long as I have my mouse plugged in. That's right. We're going to talk about water fluoridation, because this has come up because Bobby Kennedy has talked about this. And I want to make a case, I think probably a better case than what he's making. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. I happen to live in a place where we don't have fluoride in the water. And that was actually one of the reasons that I chose to move here years ago. So yeah, I think that's so this will be a good topic today. So yeah, let's just get to it. Okay, all right, folks, let's talk about something we all know, but maybe haven't really thought about: water fluoridation. Yes, fluoride in the water, that mysterious ingredient in our H2O that for decades we've just kind of accepted. Yeah, just kind of accepted it. It's like cilantro of water, right? Some people can't live without it. Other people want to know why we're still putting it in everything. Now, fluoride in water might have made a lot of sense in the 50s. Back then, dental hygiene was so bad, people thought gingivitis was an Italian sports car. So sure, you put fluoride in the water, people are just getting indoor plumbing. It's a big deal. But now it's 2024. Kids have cell phones in kindergarten. There's fluoride in every tube of toothpaste, and yet we're still treating our water like everyone forgot how to brush their teeth. Here's the thing. Fluoride actually works topically, right? You know, on the surface, on the tooth, right? Which means it's great in toothpaste. When it's in water, though, you drink it and it goes down your throat, and that little bit of fluoride just goes right on by your teeth. And we're paying a pretty penny for it. Fluoridating a city's water supply costs millions of dollars. In a city like LA, try $3 million a year. You know how many toothbrushes we could buy with that? Enough to give every citizen in LA a toothbrush every week and still have enough left over to throw a parade. But wait, the dentists and the CDC say water fluoridation is safe and effective, right? Heard that before. Well, sure. But I bet half the people they surveyed haven't even heard of mouthwash. I mean, really. Try telling someone at Whole Foods that they can't opt out of fluoride. They'll lose it. Can I still get a non-GMO gluten-free water? Sorry, hippie, this is democracy. You don't get a choice. And fluoride's even showing up in surprising places now. Cereal, tea, fish. It's practically the Kevin Bacon of chemicals. It's connected to everything. So if you're brushing twice a day, you're drinking tea, maybe chewing on a multivitamin for some extra points, you're getting a fluoride buffet. At that point, you don't need it in the water. There's even a better solution here. How about we teach kids to brush their teeth at school? Other countries are already doing this. Scotland, Japan, they have toothbrushing time in their classrooms. Brilliant. They're ensuring kids brush at least once a day with fluoride toothpaste. And surprise, surprise, no fluoride in the water. And who doesn't want to see a line of kids with little disposable toothbrushes all going to town like they're brushing their way into Harvard, right? Look, I'm not saying water fluoridation doesn't work. It doesn't. It might have been a good idea. Was. So was roller disco. Just because something was popular once doesn't mean we have to keep doing it forever. How about we make a modern choice? Let's kick fluoride out of our water, put a toothbrush in every kid's hand. And then, when they grow up with nice, strong teeth, they'll have us to thank and not the glass of tap water. Maybe we can bring back roller disco. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey Nuance Show, most ignored, censored commentary news show live. Right now, flame on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Water fluoridation. And yes, that is Comic Sans. I don't know. What are you going to do, right? But so the initial purpose was dental health for reducing cavities. That was the pitch originally, and this was when dental hygiene was lacking, right? Like this way before my time, right? That's when they started this. Anyway, what is the effectiveness in fluoride in the water? Well, some people claim it's safe and effective. Now, I'm not going to get into any of the claims that fluoride is used to mind control people and dumb us all down. That may be true. I'm not making that claim, okay? I'm just talking about the effectiveness of it and my body, my choice. I would like to choose what I put in my body. I should be able to get my tap water without a chemical added to it, a chemical that I don't want. And I think that is the thing. It's a freedom issue, and it's also an effectiveness thing. It doesn't even really make sense. It kind of reminds me of a homeopathy. I don't know if you remember this, but this was something in the late 80s, early 90s. And the idea was that they would dilute something down to a microscopic level, and then you would add it into a tea or something like that, and it would give you these great powers or help you overcome something. And it was just a bunch of nonsense. What they want us to believe is that they add fluoride to the water, okay? And then these poor kids that don't brush their teeth, that they're even drinking water. Maybe they're having soda or something. But when they're drinking the water, for the fraction of a second that water is on the tooth, that the little tiny bit of fluoride in there is going to do something. This is what we're supposed to believe. I don't believe it. Now, I know that there are some studies that make the claim that fluoridating water works. I question who paid for those. And you may say, but Tom, don't all dentists say that it is safe and effective? Don't whatever 97, 98% of all the dentists agree that we should add fluoride to the water? And it's like, okay, what happens if you oppose that? Right? Now, we saw what happened a couple years ago for anyone in the medical field that challenged the narrative. Right? They were booted out. In the same way, I suspect you really can't go up against Big Dental. Big Dental has some kind of deal with this industrial chemical, right? But the key is that fluoride works topically, meaning that you want it on the teeth. That's how it works. It's not, so it works best when it's applied directly to the tooth, from like toothpaste or mouthwash, right? I'm going to say minimal, just so the video stays up, benefit from drinking fluoridated water because it just passes through the digestive system and it doesn't directly impact the teeth. Right? When you're drinking water, you don't just hold the water on your teeth, but that's how it works most effectively. And so it's a totally ineffective way to do things. Also, why would we be paying all this money to add fluoride to our shower water and to our toilet water and to the water that we use to water our lawns? And it's insane. You're adding fluoride to what you use to wash your car. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But also, let's look at the expense of this. Implementing this system and then to maintain fluoridation systems, cities with large populations, they spend millions of dollars every year on this fluoridation program. And in my opinion, there's not any evidence that it does any good. So for about 1 million people, the lowball estimate is about $3 million a year of what it costs to fluoridate the water. That money could be used a lot more effectively if you were so concerned with the kids, right? These poor kids that can't get can't get a toothbrush, can't get toothpaste, even though you can get it at the dollar store or $1.25 store now. Yeah. To me, it reminds me of voter ID laws, right? They claim we don't have voter ID because there are these poor people that can't figure out how to get an ID. And so we don't want them to be hurt. They're too dumb. They're too poor to be able to get an ID. Now, I've never met any of these people in real life, but that's what they use for the voter ID law. In the same way, fluoridating the water, what they're saying is these poor inner city kids, they're too dumb and neglected, and they can't afford a toothbrush or toothpaste. So we need to put it in all the water so that for the half of a second that the water is in their glass of water that they're drinking, it might have an effect and help them. Are you buying this? I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Plus, it's in lots of things already. So anyway, we're consuming enough fluoride as it is. We don't need to add it to our drinking water, but we have some other solutions that we can do if we want to actually be effective, right? You can brush your teeth. No, it's a shock, right? But I do think that we could have a brushing program in schools. It's so sad when kids, they get to college or whatever, and they have all kinds of fill-ins because of the cavities that they got as kids for not brushing their teeth and eating a bunch of sugar. I think we would be doing all these kids a much better service if we could teach them to brush their teeth in school. And if you're so concerned about the poor kids that don't have access to a toothbrush, right? I guess the same people that, probably their parents are the ones that can't figure out how to get an ID, right? Is that what we're claiming? I know. Instead of spending millions of dollars fluoridating the water, how about we buy them toothpaste and toothbrushes, and we could set up a toothbrushing station in the elementary school. Make sure that kids brush their teeth after they have lunch. That way, we can at least be ensured that once a day they've brushed their teeth with fluoride. They're going to be fine, taken care of. And as a side benefit, those kids won't be needing all of the extra dental work that they would have to get if they didn't take care of their teeth. I think this is something that we can influence kids to taking care of their teeth. So having a program at school, I think could be beneficial. If you're so concerned about these kids that you want to add it into all the water that everyone has to drink, whether they want to or not. No, let's directly deal with the problem. Now, there are some studies that suggest that excessive fluoride consumption can have health risks. So, neurological effects, developmental concerns. So, there could be a number of downsides to adding fluoride to the water. I don't see any benefit to it, to me, and I don't buy the studies that make the claim that uh, that it works. I don't think it does. But there is an ongoing debate about this, the risks versus the benefits. But I think long-term fluoride exposure, I don't think is good for anybody. So what would be the solution? Well, there are countries that have implemented school-based toothbrushing programs, and they've had a lot of positive outcomes from that. I think that's something that if we care about the kids, that's something that we could do. Children could also get a direct treatment, right? Direct application, without having to have this widespread water fluoridation stuff. So I think that fluoridation is in the past. We need to re-examine it, and I say throw it out. Now, this came up because Bobby Kennedy's been talking about it. I live here in Portland. We don't have fluoridated water in Portland. I know, shock. Because once people actually look into it and don't buy the propaganda, they don't want it. And there was just a vote this last election last week in the suburb of Hillsborough here in Portland, and they voted against fluoridating the water as well. So it's been in the news here locally, and that's why I wanted just to present it from the point of view of someone that hasn't bought the narrative on this. Now, I understand if you live in a place with fluoridated water, it's been part of your life, your whole life. And you've always heard how it's good and it's saving the kids. Perhaps it's out of date and it's something to be re-examined. I think in hindsight, I think it was a scam the whole time, in my honest opinion. But that's just my opinion. You may have a different opinion. Let me know in the comments. But I really think that we should phase out the fluoridation of water. And I think if RFK has something to do with it and he is able to get it eliminated in the U.S., I think he's doing everyone a service. That's my take. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. That's all I have prepared for today, but I will go through all your comments in the after show, and I'll be back on Friday with another exciting, fantastic, thoughtful show for you then. Until then, peace. Hey, all right. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. What's up, Lucid, Natasha? Where's Tom? Yeah, I was a minute or 2 minutes late getting started today. They were just going crazy outside with something with the sewers. I'm not exactly sure. Hey, just a reminder, we're going for 420 followers over there on Rumble. And if you're not following over there, I suggest you do. That'd be great. It'd also be nice if someone followed me on X. I'm at Coffey and Nuance. So you can always reach me over there on X. I get messages there. Maybe he's filtering his water. I don't have to filter my water. That is one of the benefits of living in Portland is we don't have fluoridated water. Natasha says maybe his is it pineal gland is completely calcified, so he doesn't understand the spiritual importance of being on time. Yeah. My water has a bleachy smell. Well, sorry about that, Lucid. The water here in Portland actually tastes great. It's really good out of the tap. Gingivitis in Italian sports cars, that was a good one. Well, I don't know. I try to make some silly little jokes. I try, right? Wait, what? Portland is full of crazy people, but it doesn't have fluoridated water? So what is their excuse for being crazy? You know, perhaps it's the lack of fluoride that's made Portland so crazy, right? No, the thing is, Portland used to be more of a pro-freedom city. Back in the day. Tobias says, no fluoride for me, not in toothpaste or water. It's a toxic industrial waste byproduct. Yes, that is what many people believe. And me talking about it, I think that I was trying to make the easiest argument against fluoridating the water. If you make bigger claims, then there's more you have to prove. I understand that point of view. I was just trying to make the case to the person that has had it their whole life, that has bought the story for their entire life. And sometimes if you come, if you make your case too hard, there's a backfire effect and people don't want to listen to you. So I understand your point of view there, Tobias. I chose to make my case in a slightly different way. Ox says, interesting topic. I recently saw an interview about a different topic, and they said, is it good or bad because you find things online? Okay. Comic Sans is a font. Yes. Comic Sans is this font right here. I think this is this Comic Sans? Yes, this is Comic Sans Microsoft. It is known kind of for as a meme, as a really ugly font. Poorly designed. And so I just thought it was funny. I'm just mixing things up. Hey, I used to roller skate a lot when I was younger. I was the guy who always skated backwards. I have never been able to skate backwards. In fact, I don't roller skate. I want to roller skate. We have they have something here in Portland. It's the secret roller disco that they do once a week. And they'll have a DJ and set up somewhere like when the weather's nice, maybe at a basketball court at an elementary school, or they've done it in various locations throughout the city. And it's skating. I broke my wrist as a kid skating, and I just haven't skated since then. I did buy some really nice roller skates, so that and knee pads and elbow pads and the wrist guards and the whole thing, so that I could learn. I just haven't. It's one of those things that I wanted to do that I haven't done. But I would like to learn how to roller skate, and skating backwards I think is pretty cool. Calcifying the pineal gland, I find that more believable than the government caring about my tooth health. I can see that. All dentists and all doctors and all pharmacists can kiss my A, says Natasha. I understand that as well. Did somebody donate water to a campaign that owns a fluoride company? I make the joke. It's such a great business being in fluoride, because it's an industrial waste product that you can essentially get paid to take. So you can get paid to take the fluoride away as an industrial waste, and then you put it in the system and make your millions of dollars. It's quite a racket, in my opinion. I wish I could That would, if I had no ethics, boy, that would be great. Being a millionaire fluoridator, just making all your money, millions of dollars, not benefiting society, in my opinion. Dollar store is now the $5 store. I'm not sure where you are, Ox. Out here, it's $1.25. It's $1.25. Don't forget to like the stream. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Made me think, what percent of tap water goes into our mouth, even for 1 second? Very, 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 very little. Right? Very little. Poor iPhone having kids. They don't know how to get an ID. If that phone only had a way to find one. Yeah, that's true. Natasha says, maybe these kids are getting a head start on being a meth head, Tom. It could actually be intentional, these kids who aren't brushing their teeth. I don't know. At one time, I guess in a previous life, decades ago, I taught school at an elementary school. And I wouldn't be opposed to having a little toothbrush station and making the kids, encouraging the kids to brush their teeth after lunch. I think it'd be a good habit to get the kids into, especially if they're not getting, if they're not being made to do that at home. I think that would be a positive thing. We learned to brush our teeth in school. We had to chew this little pink pill that revealed what a poor job of brushing we had done. I do remember that little pill. It was like a little purple. I think it was like a purple pill. At least that's what I remember. And it would show how well you brushed your teeth. I agree, says Jody. Take it out. Hey, Jody, where have you been? Yeah. Where have you been, Jody? Nice to see you back. Lucid gargles with hydrogen peroxide. Haven't had a cavity in years and years and years. All my teeth. But the wisdom. That's good. Nice. Tobias, I follow you on X. Cool. Well, you can always send me a comment there, and I try to follow people back on X. So yeah. Jody says, a scam from mining companies. They were paid for a toxic chemical instead of paying for disposal. This is the fear I have of sun hazing. I don't know what that is. Okay. We missed you too, Jody. For your information, Tom, fluoride in water is supposed to contribute to calcification of the pineal gland, which is supposed to be the part of your brain that generates spirituality. Okay. Don't know about that. Nice hair today, Tom. Yeah, this is me not showering and not really doing my hair. That's what it looks like. Chronic abundance, Nicholas. If everything weren't made of sugar, then we wouldn't need to brush our teeth at all times once a week. So many things, basically chemical warfare, that have been finding ways to sell us toxic waste as goods. I agree with that. Exactly. It's a scam. Don't phase it out. Just totally end it. And the stuff as toxic. Look at the rules they have just to fly it to us. How much it takes to be lethal and the negative effects it has. There's absolutely no reason to have it. Zero benefit to it. Well, that's what I agree. I think when you are trying to make a case, I believe there could be a much more sinister reason for this. It could just be a big money grab. There are lots of things that I can imagine that people make the case against fluoridation. I am trying to make the easiest case that would reach the most people. Okay. And so I think the easiest case is, hey, it doesn't work. If you're concerned about the kids, let's do something for the kids. We don't need it, and it's a waste of money. I think that is I believe that is a more persuasive argument. In the end, what you want is to get the fluoride out of the water, right? That's what you want. And so you have to think of what is the most persuasive way to get people on your side. But I do understand what you're saying there. Hazing the skies to protect us from the sun, or chemtrails, or oh, okay, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. That thing that many say doesn't exist. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I just figured out what the Kofefe tweet was about. Most likely that. Perhaps. Anyway, that's all I have prepared for you today. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I just wanted to present something that maybe you haven't thought about or you haven't seen any information on. And I do think it's something that we will see in the near future, probably more talk about this. And probably a lot of the talk will be coming from the same people that pitched us all kinds of medical things that in hindsight we might not agree with. Let's just phrase it that way. So I just wanted to get my opinion out there, and thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'll be back on Friday. Hope you all have a good one. Until then, peace.